Welcome to Cheap Controls. I'm going to attempt to build a network monitoring tool from scratch using PHP, MySQL, HTML, CSS, and some JavaScript. Feel free to follow along, laugh at my failures, and enjoy my successes. If you like what you see, consider subscribing and hitting that bell. This is tutorial number 2 in the setup of my network monitoring tool. In this video, I'm going to go over the file structure for the project. This is going to look very similar to a website layout that you would do for almost any website. There's just a few things that I do to keep things simple. I'm going to add a CSS folder, an image folder, a JavaScript folder. Now for my PHP folders, I add two. I add one for my classes and one for my script. It allows me to keep things separate and a little less confusing. And then I have another folder that I call views. When I use MySQL, I'll combine tables, and instead of using PHP to do the logic to set up the tables, I use views in MySQL. Even if you don't know a lot about MySQL, by the time you're done looking at the views, you'll understand them. They're not very complicated. I like to have them saved in a text file so that if I have to alter them, I can delete them and re-enter them easily. And then for the website itself, or for the network monitoring tool itself, I'm going to start with 3 basic files. The very first thing I'm going to set up is going to be the main page that you log into. We're going to set up the header and footer and that sort of thing. That's the index file. And then we're going to have the login portion, which we're going to need a list of users. And then we're going to have the ability to change the individual user information. That's why I've just started with those 3 files. Now for the CSS, I'm going to start with 3 CSS files. The first file is going to be default.css, and it's going to be all of the styles that will be used throughout the entire web page on every single page. The head foot is the styles for the header and the footer. I separate those out just to keep things clear. Same thing with the navigation portion of it. That way I can alter it, because that should be the same on every page also. Now in the PHP class area, we're going to go ahead and add a user class. Every class I make, I do an underscore class, because if I have a script file that's going to go with it, which I'll make next, it'll have the same name. And even though they'll be in separate folders, it makes it clearer for me so that I don't get the 2 files mixed around. So everything we've created right now is empty. Every file is empty. This is just the structure for what we're going to build. In the next video, I'm going to build out the index.html, set up the header and footer. Depending on time, I'm going to try to keep all these videos below 10 minutes. Well, that's about it for this video. I hope you enjoyed, and if you did, consider subscribing or heading over to cheapcontrols.com and signing up for the newsletter. Thanks for watching.